planning on telling the story on YouTube, but you know what? People gotta know. I'ma pull up to the function with the whole team. I be shaking my dress. Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Shayna back here with a brand new video, and I've been debating on whether to tell the story because, like, I don't know who can, like, I tell a lot of people that I have a YouTube channel, so I don't know if they would, like, go and find it. But, disclaimer, this is not on my record, so I guess I can tell the story. But this happened my freshman year of high school, and I was going to Port Charlotte High School. Shout out to the people that watch my videos that go to that school. And I went to that school, and this was towards the end of the year. Me and my friends had skipped class a lot, and we'd been skipping class a lot before that happened, so we were like, you know what, it's a good idea, we should skip the whole day and go to the mall. Now, the mall was right across the street from my school, and I would go there for lunch sometimes if I had money, or my friend had money. Me and her would go to the mall for lunch, and we would always miss fifth period, of course. We'll give her a name, and we'll name her Alexis. Alexis is like a white girl and a black girl name, right? Okay, so me and Alexis, we were texting the day before this happened. We were like, let's go to the mall all day and just hang out, you know, chill all day. I was like, alright, cool. So that day, I brought my backpack to school, of course, and we were like, okay, well, okay, backstory. One day we went, and I was like, we were planning on going to the mall the whole day anyway, so I didn't bring a backpack or anything, so I just brought myself, and I was like, my dad didn't know because, like, I got up way before him to walk to the bus stop. So we ended up, like, because I didn't want to get caught, like, because if you carry a backpack to the mall, like, and you look like a high schooler, like, you're bound to get caught. So I didn't bring a backpack, but my friend Alexis's friend, her name is, let's give her a name and name her Gabby. Gabby had taken a shirt from, and she had her backpack, disclaimer. She had taken a shirt from the store, and we didn't know about it till we got to the shoe store. I think we were at Champs, and she didn't tell us about it till then. So, we went to Charlotte Russe, and we took, some underwear, and I didn't have a backpack or anything, so I had to, like, layer them on, and, I had a jacket on, a big-ass jacket, so I put my stuff in that, and then folded my jacket over my arm, and we got back to school just as the buses were leaving, so we got on the bus and went home. Okay, now back to the story that I was saying. We had planned on going to the mall all day, but my friend Alexis's friend Gabby didn't go with us that day. So we were planning on taking some stuff that day too, so that's why I brought my backpack that time. And my friend Alexis had a locker, and I didn't have a locker because you had to pay $5, and plus I started at that school later than everybody else, so I didn't really have the opportunity to pay $5 for a locker for all 4 years. So we put all her stuff in her locker, and as soon as the first bell rang for first period, we went to my sister's school, my sister and brother's school, which was a middle school at the time. They were in middle school. They went to Murdoch Middle. And we went there, we saw them, and we hung out with them for a little bit, ate breakfast while we were there. They got us breakfast and stuff. So we did that, and then their first bell rang for their first period, so then we took off to the mall. And the mall does not open until, I'd like to say, like 9 o'clock. I don't know, I don't remember. It was either 9 or 10. I really don't remember. I can't really remember. But anyway, we went to the mall, we walked around for a little bit and hung out until the mall opened. And when the mall opened, we went in there and we hung out for a little bit. But, we hung out for a little bit. And then we were like, okay, let's go to Bell's and get a few things. So we, of course, we went after the stuff without the ink tags on them, because, you know, you can't take those off at your house because you get ink all over your clothes. So we took the clothes that didn't have the ink tags on them. So we took that and we stuffed our backpacks. And I was wearing my Converse at that time, and I was wearing long-ass pants. Oh my god, it was so hot that day. But I was wearing my Converse, and they were starting to hurt my feet. like I was saying, Converse were starting to hurt my feet, okay? So, but at Bell's we had taken a pair of sandals. Both of us had taken the same pair of sandals. So, we went to the bathroom and put the sandals on. And I think I had gotten a dress that needed like a strapless bra to go with it, so I was like, okay, let's go to another store because I need to get a strapless bra. So I was like, let's go to Sears. So we went to Sears, and we saw, like, I went in there, got what I wanted, and then we went to the dressing room, put it in our backpacks. But on the way to the dressing room, my friend Alexis, she decided that she saw a lot of cute things. She's like, I want this, and I want this. Our backpacks were, like, they were full, but not to the point where you could tell. So, she's like, I want this. Okay, I was like, alright. I was like, you know, we're not gonna have room for this. And she had a smaller backpack than mine, so she's like, oh, I could just put it in your backpack, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't know about this, but let's go do it. So we went in the dressing room. We had a whole bunch of clothes. Oh my god, like, the bench, I was sitting on the bench in there, and this whole side of me, on that side, was full of clothes, like, stacked. And I was like, dude, we're not gonna get away with this. And so, I don't know why she had left the dressing room, but she left it for some reason. And she told me to lock the door behind her, but I did not hear her. So I sat in there waiting for her, and then a Sears employee walked into the dressing room. And let me tell you, like, if I was an employee and I walked into that, it would not look good, because there was a pile of clothes on one side of me. I was sitting there by myself. There was hangers hanging, like empty hangers hanging on the wall, and the lady's like, you know, you're only supposed to have a certain amount of items in here, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, okay, well, this is my friend's stuff. We were just trying it on, you know, blah, blah, blah. So she left. And Mila came back, and I told her about the lady. She's like, why didn't you lock the door behind me? I was like, I didn't hear you say that, blah, blah, blah. So, we got all the stuff, and oh my god, let me tell you, my backpack was slammed full. We had left empty hangers in the dressing room, so that basically gave it all away, but that wasn't my idea. And, my backpack was slammed full, hers was slammed full. So, we walked out, looked around, you know, we walked out, and we walked, to Macy's. Now, while we were walking to Macy's, the Sears manager was walking behind us. I did not know it at the time, but my friend was like, she was suspicious, but she didn't tell me anything. So we got into Macy's, and the manager stopped us, and he was like, we're gonna need you to bring our stuff back. And I think we realized somebody was following us, so my friend Alexis was like, play it off. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, how are we gonna play this off? My backpack's slammed full, and like, I can't play this off. They can tell that there's something in my backpack, so there was no way in playing that off. So the guy stopped us. He's like, we're gonna need you to bring our stuff back. And at first we were like, what are you talking about? We don't have any of your stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, we're just gonna need you to bring our stuff back. So he brought us back to Sears, and he's like, oh, the cops are already on their way, blah, blah, blah. And I started freaking out, because I was like, oh, I hope, because it was around the time when we had to go back to the school so we could get on the bus and go home. So I was like, we need to hurry this process up. Don't call my dad. I'm sorry I took all your stuff. Like, we'll give it all back. And I didn't really say that because I was, like, freaking out. Like, I didn't know what to say. Like, I was in shock. But they brought us back to a room. It looked like a meeting room, like where the employees and the managers and stuff go for a meeting. And we sat there and waited for the cops to show up. And this guy was sitting there on his phone, you know, which really pissed me off. I was like, okay, so we waited for the cops to get there, and they walked in. There were two officers. I can't remember what they looked like. They were pretty intimidating people, but anybody to me that is bigger than me is intimidating to me, so, like, that's really not saying anything. But at this point I was like, fuck, well, how are we gonna get home now? Like, the buses are leaving now. So the cops asked us, like, all these questions, and then at first we lied to them. And they were like, oh, you're lying to us, blah, blah, blah. So they put us in handcuffs. Then I started bawling my eyes out loud. I was like, this is it. My dad's gonna kill me. I'm not gonna make it home. They're gonna take me to jail, blah, blah, blah. So they're like, okay, we're gonna take you out of these handcuffs. Are you prepared to tell the truth now? And we were like, yes. So we told the truth. And they basically looked in our bags, and I was like, those Converses are mine. And they were like, are the shoes on your feet? Those aren't yours, are they? I was like, no, they're not. So I gave them back, and we gave back all the clothes and stuff, except my friend had something that she was wearing that she stole, which doesn't really matter. But we gave all the stuff back. They were like, we're gonna have to take you down, like they were gonna, not downtown. That was stupid. Like, that's so cliche. They were like, we're gonna have to take you to the jailhouse, blah blah blah. We're gonna, and they calculated all of the prices of all the items that we took, and together we had like 200 something, and apparently that's like, I don't know what it was called, grand theft maybe, but that was all of us to combine, like the stuff that she had and the stuff that I had, it was combined, it was $200. So, the security officers, before we left, the security officers at the mall took our pictures, and we weren't allowed in Bells or Sears again, and we weren't allowed at the mall for 6 months after that. So they put us in handcuffs. I was bawling my eyes out still. I was crying. I could not stop crying. And then we got into the cop car, and they put us in the same car. Like, we were sitting in the back seat, same car. Never been in a cop car before that time. And it was like very uncomfortable. Like, they had plastic seats, like plastic. There's a plastic bin over there, but it was harder plastic than that. So, and we had our hands behind our back, you know, like handcuffs, with handcuffs. So I was basically like crushing my hands, and I was bawling. Like, I couldn't see anything. I had to like wipe my eyes on my friend's shirt next to me. And my friend Alexis was crying too. Like, she was using my shoulder to push up her glasses, and she was wiping her eyes on my shoulder. She was starting to have a panic attack. She's like, I think I'm about to pass out, blah blah blah. So we stopped. The cops are like, okay, we'll just stop, blah blah blah, we'll stop. So we stopped next to this bookstore, and then they called an ambulance. They took all her stuff. She was fine. And on the way there, they were calling our parents, and called my dad. I don't remember like if her dad answered or something, but like they called my dad, and he was yelling on the phone. I could hear him, and he thought it was my sister at first, because I don't know why he thinks so poorly of my other sister. But he's like, you're not going anywhere for a summer, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, back to where I was before I was rudely interrupted. But they were calling my dad. He was yelling on the phone, and he's like, you're not doing anything for the whole summer, because it was close to summertime. I was like bawling my eyes out, which made it worse. So we made it to the jailhouse, and we had to fill out paperwork, and I was shaking, and I couldn't even sign anything. Like, anything that I had to sign, I couldn't sign it. I think we stayed there for a solid, because, okay, we were there from the time school ended, which was like it was close to 2 o'clock when school ended, and we got picked up around 5 or 6 by our parents. She left before I did, and then my dad came and got me, and this, like, okay, my dad is not the type that would hit you. He does not hit you. He's more intimidating when he yells, and I do not like it when my parents are disappointed in me. I do not like it when they yell at me. So, I had my stuff, and I didn't cry, but, like, I was, like, sad. I was disappointed. I had my head hanging low, and, like, I was like, my dad's gonna kill me. So I was so scared, like, and then they gave me a piece of paper basically saying that I had to pay, like, $25 because I was booked, and I got a mugshot taken and all that stuff. So they gave me that paper. I grabbed all my stuff. I was out the door. My dad was right there as soon as they opened the door, and he was standing there with his hands behind his back. I remember he was wearing a white shirt, not that that matters, but he was standing there, and my sister Bella was, like, walking around, and he had his hands behind his back, and not because he was handcuffed, but, like, because he was, like, waiting, pacing back and forth, and I was like, and I gave him a look, and then I instantly looked away, and he was, like, disappointed, and then he talked to the cop for a second, and then, you know, we got in the car and we left, and it was quiet the whole ride, which made it even worse. I finally, as, like, we were, like, 5 minutes away from home, I turned to him, and I say, thank you for not yelling at me about this. He's like, I know it wouldn't help, but I do want you to know that I'm very disappointed in you. I was like, I know, and He's like, this is so unlike you, like, and it really wasn't. Like, I would never have thought about doing something like that on my own. So we got home and he said, you're not going to use your phone, you don't get to use the internet, blah, blah, blah. That lasted for like 2 days, but yeah, that was the story of when I got arrested for shoplifting. And after that, like, it's not on my record anymore because I went to some lady and I talked to her about that. And she basically gave me community service hours, and I had to write an apology letter to both Sears and Bells, and I did all kinds of other stuff. But I did 10 hours of community service at Goodwill, and let me tell you, I never want to enter a Goodwill ever again. I hated it so much. Even though it was only 10 hours, it felt like an eternity. But yeah, that's the story of when I shoplifted and got arrested. I would never shoplift again, let me tell you that, because I would never steal from anybody. I would never steal from a store. So that's never going to happen, and hopefully I never get arrested again. I'm not going to say I'm never going to get arrested again because I can't tell you about that, but like, I hope I never do, fingers crossed. But yeah, if you like this video and you'd like me to do other story times, give this video a big thumbs up and leave a comment down below if you ever shoplifted and how old were you? Because I was 16 when this happened. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, give it a thumbs up and comment down below. And also subscribe because I am close to 100. I'm at 84 right now, but I'm close to 100. And it would be so awesome and it would be greatly appreciated if you subscribe if you haven't already. I love you guys and thank you for listening to my very bad way of telling a story. I'm not good at telling stories, okay? But I'm glad you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out, Girl Scout.